Living in South Africa as a Black woman has been really empowering for me, as well as a Black woman raising two young Black girls into womanhood. A lot of the things that I had to hear or felt pressure to share in America, like to teach my children that there are things that they can't do because of their skin color, are things that we don't even discuss. I feel a sense of freedom. I feel a sense of internal joy that I had to fight for daily living in the US. And that type of freedom, that type of liberation is priceless. My name is Ashley Cleveland. I'm 41. I bring in about $122,000 in my business annually, and I live in Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow. $122,000. Now let's take a deep dive and talk about her situation, all right? I think that a lot of people realize that living in the US is hard. It really is. And the new American dream is living abroad. So there's a lot of videos on social media about I've moved to Thailand, Bangkok, Vietnam, South Africa, Kenya, everywhere. People are moving constantly. So whenever I see a video like that, I always want to take a deep dive and take a look at it because it inspires me, to be honest. And I think that it should also inspire you because it's a global world. You have flexibility on where you can live. I think people are so focused on being comfortable. Get out of your comfort zone. Explore the world, go places. Once you go places, you're going to realize that there's more to life than just a 9 to 5. And usually speaking, your standard of living is a lot better when you get out of the US. And those people who say it's not legit, you're gonna be on and living in the trees and all that stuff, are people that don't know what they're talking about. Like seriously. If you travel, you go places like I have, you're gonna realize that, if you go places, there are places that are amazing, look more beautiful than the US, cleaner, nicer people, friendlier people, and your money stretches further. And that's the craziest thing. Once you realize that, you're just going to be like, so what exactly am I doing living here in the freaking US, working 9 to 5, living paycheck to paycheck? Mm-mm. So let's see her story.
I grew up between Massachusetts and Florida. My mom was a working mom and she had multiple jobs. We definitely grew up knowing that money was something that was scarce and you had to work hard to earn it. I graduated from Florida State University in 2006 and got introduced to the world of flipping real estate. Found myself upside down over maybe $300,000 to $400,000 in debt.
Oh. Real estate is the way to go, but you got to be careful because sometimes you can win, sometimes you can lose. And when you're down, it really sucks, man. So, like, now I actually own a couple real estate properties and I will say the upside down. It's just the market is going down right now, right? So we're all talking about we're in a recession or whatnot, which I don't think that's what's going to happen. But the reality of the fact is, most of the properties that I own are down in value, right? Some are still, positive because I bought them early on, but some are negative and I can't sell them. But nevertheless, that's another conversation. If you're gonna hustle, just know there's gonna be some up and down. All right. But real estate is definitely a go-to place, I would say. So I'm super excited and happy to hear she's definitely investing in real estate.
In 2009, I began my bankruptcy filing,
Well,
and
damn.
ultimately around 2011, my bankruptcy was filed and discharged about 6 years later.
6 years later, shit.
2017, I
It's
got
crazy.
pregnant with my daughter, and I found out that my company did not offer maternity leave. That experience had me going on a huge research journey of what life could look like living outside of the US.
So now here's the thing. This is only in the US. Do you realize that? Like for instance, if you live in Canada, I think my cousin lives in Canada, and she was telling me how when she got pregnant, she's able to, stay up to a year without having to go back to work, and her job is still secure. That is not the same thing here in the US. It's crazy. Once you have a kid, you're even you're rushing trying to figure out what to do, and I think that's the situation that she was in, having a newborn. And seems like she's doing it all by herself basically, so she's trying to figure out what options she may have. And I think that's probably how she came about, living overseas. So let's take a look.
And it was becoming more and more desirable with all of the political unrest and the racial tension. I had actually been laid off from my tech role, which was my third layoff in 5 years. And
Damn.
I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. And because of that, I was able to leverage an investment tool that I invested in, which was a long-term disability policy. This allowed me essentially to have an income. And a friend who was actually moving to a country called Tanzania, I decided, if not now, when? My family boarded the plane to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and that was 5 years ago.
That's her in Tanzania. So here's the thing, all right? I tell people, if you have the means, because not everybody's got the means, but if you have the means to travel the world, make sure you travel the world. There's so much to see. Actually, this video is about her moving to Cape Town with her family, her daughters. And I've been to Cape Town. Cape Town is a beautiful place, man. The the scenery is insane. I think, let me take a look. Look at this. This is literally in Kemps Bay. So you can walk by the beach, go to restaurants. The weather is amazing. You have local vendors on the streets selling artwork. You can take the bus for free all over the place. And it's just, the scenery is insane. It's beautiful. I mean, the last time I stayed, I literally was staying somewhere here, on this street in Kemps Bay, and I had an Airbnb that was literally, let me see. Hold on. I have a couple of videos here. Let me see if I can find it. So SA South Africa. And where is that? I can't even see it. This is crazy. There you go. So South Africa, where I actually went to Cape Town for a week. And I mean, look at this view. It's freaking bananas, man. So this is the Airbnb that I stayed at, and it wasn't that crazy. It was maybe, I think, $200 a night or something, and I did a week. But look at this view. Look at this view. Waking up to this every single day. Now, keep in mind, I obviously wanted to get a nice view because I was new in town and I wanted to have fun or whatnot. But my thing is, you can get a unit further into the city that's going to be way cheaper than this if you don't want to spend this much, right? But you have the beach on one side, then you have the mountain view on the other side. It's freaking breathtaking, right? So the weather is nice, the cost of living is cheaper, and you feel like you have a sense of freedom that you never would have had if you were staying in the US, right? You can go out to eat in the restaurants, and the drinks and the food is not that expensive. You can do a three-course meal that will cost you $120 here in the US for less than 40 bucks over there. And I'm talking about entrees. I'm talking about your I mean, I was going to this restaurant, I forgot the name of this one, by the mall, and I was eating this pizza dish that it was so good with the shrimp and everything, and I kept going back and forth. Like I literally went there like every day. And it was cheap. It was freaking cheap. Look at this. I didn't even realize I did a video for that. It doesn't look that great, but it was so freaking good, man. And it barely cost anything. So, and this is what I'm talking about. This is less than $30, all right, with the drinks and everything that comes with it. And the nightlife is just, that's something to, it's another conversation in itself. But what I'm saying is, people are realizing that there's more to life than just their 9 to 5. Life is not just about waking up, going to work every single day. What's the point of that? Because you're not just going to work just to pay your bills. Like, what's the freaking point? What are you doing? You're going to go to college, go to school till you graduate college, get a job, work for 40 years, and maybe have 10, 15 years of retirement. I don't want to retire at 60. That's not when I want to actually go out and explore the world and hang out and take a break from the 9 to 5. Like, no, we're doing it now. And I remember seeing this luxury apartment. This is literally downtown, all right? And you don't even need to move permanently. There's some people that say, you know what, I'm gonna move for the summer. A lot of people do that in Dubai, right? So you could do it in South Africa as well. So this is a building, half of it is a hotel. The second half is like apartment units that people have on Airbnb, but also you could do long-term stays. So if you want, you can literally go there with just a suitcase because it's furnished. So look at this unit. This is an amazing, beautiful bathroom. Cost you 1,100 for this unit, and it's fully furnished. And they get to clean the unit every time you want. Look at this. And you have a great view. Now, this is a studio apartment, but you could still get a one bedroom. You could get a two bedroom for maybe 14 to $1,500. So some people, what they do is they actually move for the summer. And look at this rooftop view. Look at this. You can literally see the entire town. Uh, It's it's beautiful. And then you're telling me that you rather stay here in the US, depending on where you stay, where there's the cold and all that stuff. Like, no, no, there's no need for that, right? But let's get back to the story and let's finish what she was saying. So
I
she
was in
decided to move.
Tanzania for about a year. I was feeling better, I was sleeping better, I was looking better, and I eventually made my plan and moved to South Africa in 2023.
Look at that view. Look at this, so peaceful. And keep in mind, this is like literally, you can wake up any day and say, and that's the beauty with South Africa, okay? Because Cape Town, South Africa is by the coast, all right? So Cape Town has the mountain view, which I showed earlier. You could be in some amazing wineries. Oh, it's like there's everything. You want to be by the water, you have the beach. You want to go sailing, you have the marina. You want to go hiking, you have the mountain. You want to be posh, go to the wineries. And if you want to go to the safari, you can even go to the one of the famous safaris they have here. And it's like there's so much to do and there's something for everyone. You know, even content creators come come to South Africa all the time. I mean, this Lord guy, right? He's very famous, like very popular, I would say. He's a travel guy or whatnot, but he's always showing what life is all about. So he travels to different places, shows you what the city's all about, the life, the culture, the food, the ambiance and everything. And look at this. This is what life is supposed to be. Meet, socialize, hang out, eat, dance, drink if you want to drink, but it's a little bit of everything. And that's what South Africa has for you. Okay? And this is not just for New Year's and Christmas like you hear all the time. This is literally any time of the year. All right? The food is amazing, the nightlife is dope, and it's just the ambiance and everybody is happy. It's very different from the US where people are stressing about life in general and work. So everybody's rushing. Look at that. It's morning time and people are still out. People party all night. And now here's the thing, you don't have to party if you're not a party person. There's literally something for everybody. So for me, I would say if you can, go and explore. Go and explore. And you'd be very surprised because there's a lot of people out there that are doing the same thing and they live there for a reason. So go out and explore if you can. It'll be totally worth it.
I completely transitioned from being employed into a full-time entrepreneur. I created a community for other people to learn how to successfully travel and relocate and do business in Africa, called the Africa Investors Academy. My goal is to work with companies, entrepreneurs, and founders that are growing their businesses to the African continent.
So here's the thing, all right? So she moved back, she started a business, and it looks like it's on track to make 122,000 in 2025. And she's pretty much guiding people investing and starting out in Africa, which I think is great because, if you know better than the average person and you can, start a business on that, go ahead and do it. And that's the thing with, like, perfect example with YouTube. A lot of people think they need to be expert on any specific field, but you don't need to be. Whether it's in real estate, it's in, anything, as long as you know more than the person next to you and more than the average person, that's your niche. Talk about whatever you want. But basically, what I'm getting at with this video is that I really want to hone in on the fact that your 9 to 5 is not going to give a damn about you if you leave. Because as soon as you leave, they're going to replace you. You have some people that make that mistake of thinking that they're special. They think that the job cares about you, your manager, your employer cares about you. No, they don't. They care about their profit. I mean, some companies might know you by name, but you're just a number, man. You're just a number, and it's like the moment they don't need you anymore, they're gonna let you go, and they're not going to care about your family if you can't maintain it or whatnot. And if you don't believe me, have a child and tell your boss you want to be off work for a whole year and see if they're going to keep that job for you. And if that doesn't pass the test, then you know you're just a number. No matter what they say, it doesn't matter. Action speaks louder than words, okay? Make sure you see for yourself, and I guarantee you they will drop you like a bad habit. Period. So if this is what you want to do, you want to go for a job that is gonna drop you for no reason. I mean, by all means, go ahead and do that. For me, I'd rather be in a place where I can actually enjoy my life, do the things that I love. This is like the night scene in South Africa, okay? Like I go out sometimes and it's funny, I've actually been to this place. I forgot the name of this place, but nevertheless, there's a lot of people there from different countries, and it's just beautiful. The energy is just great, and people in South Africa love to party. They love to party. They love to dance. They love to drink. They love to hang out. It's just a nice environment. But my thing is, if you want to live life, there's more to life than just sitting at a office and in a cubicle. And now some people are going to say, well, how can I do it, right? How can I actually move and how can I make this happen? Well, the first thing you need to start with is research. Figure out where you want to go. And the way to do it is research. Look on YouTube, and if you can, travel to those places. Like I've been to a couple places myself because I'm starting to explore the idea that, you know, I'm going to practice what I preach. So I've been to all these places, Australia, South Africa, Kenya, Japan, Thailand, Greece. It doesn't even matter, man. I've been to different places, and mainly because I wanted to explore and experience and see whether or not those are some of the places I want to move to, right? South Africa, Europe, Asia, whatever. You just have to do your research and explore. And once you find a place you like, honing on that. Go there more frequently so you can kind of get a sense of the standard of living in that place. But I will tell you this, right? Think about it this way. If you live in the US, and I'm talking about on average, right? And your standard of living is that of an average person that's making, let's say, six figure. I know there's lifestyle creep. And that's the reason why we have that whole issue of people living paycheck to paycheck. So now the thing is, if let's say you have a house that's costing you maybe 4,000 a month, that's principal, interest, and tax, all that stuff, right? 4,000 a month is like 48,000 a year. Now let's say you have a spouse or whatever, or you're by yourself, let's say, and your car note, your insurance, the tolls, the gas comes to 1,000 a month. So that's like 12,000 plus the 48 that gives you 60. Now, this is without even factoring entertainment, food, or anything. So you have to spend 60K to maintain. For you to spend 60K to maintain, you need to earn more because you got to pay taxes, right? So if you are basically making 60, let's say 85 to get to the 60, you need 85K to be able to get to that. And that's before you have any money going towards your 401k, any money going towards your saving. We're not even talking about if you have kids, trying to help them with tuition. I mean, at this point, you need to be at least six figures to even maintain. And this is the reason why people are living paycheck to paycheck. Everybody's broke, right? And that's just simply because the cost of living is expensive living here in the US. Now, take this and go to a place like, what's that place? Go to a place like Thailand, right? And let's see in Bangkok, Bangkok, Bangkok luxury condo tour. So I went to Bangkok as well, and I went for a condo tour. And it's like there are so many units that are really, really nice. Look at this thing. And this is for 900. Oh, you can actually see it. Hold on. It's literally for 900 bucks a month. Okay. And this is going to be a full tour. So this unit is a high rise. And let me see if I can show the building. Look at this thing. All right. I know we were talking about Cape Town, South Africa, and all that stuff, but I'm talking about the whole concept in general as far as living away from your comfort zone, away from the US, places that are cheaper than the US. So that would be South Africa, that would be, in Asia, people are in Vietnam, some other people are basically in Thailand and so on. So it could be anywhere, right? And look at this unit. The moment you walk in, it's elegance, it feels nice, it's new, and it's only $900 a month, and you get access to all the amenities. They have the infinity pools, they have business lounges, they have co-working space, they have a movie theater for $900, man. So now let's go back to, and this is the infinity pool. Look how beautiful this is with the view, and that you're telling me that you're paying $4,000 in the US and with no view. Like, get out of here. So anyways, what I'm saying is in Thailand, at 900 for this apartment, and let's say your electricity bill is maybe $20, your phone bill is $30, your water bill is maybe your electric could be like 40, $50, right? But your water bill is maybe like $10, $15 at tops. And I tell you, it really is. So you can literally live very comfortably with just, let's say, $2,000 a month. That's 24,000 a year. Between 24,000 a year and making six figures in the US, like, it's a no-brainer. So because the standard of living is so much, the cost of living is so much cheaper, it allows you to decide to move overseas and try to start your own business, which is what she's doing, right, in South Africa. So she was able to, I'm sure she moved with a savings, right? You move with some savings. So let's say you have, if the standard of living, the cost is going to be 24,000, and you have, 12,000, that covers you for 6 months. You have 24K, that covers you for a whole year. So that gives you a whole year to hustle, buckle down on a business that you want to start. It could be YouTube, it could be your online business, it could be fitness coaching, it could be anything. But my thing is, everything is doable, but you need to have a game plan. You got to pick a place, then you could do your research, how much it costs to stay in that place, and then you can strategize how you're going to go about it. But back to the whole video, I know we got sidetracked, but the idea of this whole thing is just living overseas, man.
My goals for my
It's possible.
business are really huge. I'm in the middle of working with my scaling coach to scale my business to $1 million next year, and we're on track.
On track for $1 million. That's what's up. So let's take a dive in. So she's making 10,000 a month, which makes sense, 122 a year. So business spending 2,700, no arguments on that. Housing and utility 1,900, fair enough. Discretionary. Now, I'm curious what that is. Discretionary: apparel, beauty, entertainment, miscellaneous. Okay. Homeschooling, toys, gym, credit monitoring. Wow, she went into detail for that. Housekeeper, home goods. Yeah, for sure. That's one of the benefits when you live overseas. You can hire somebody to come help you and clean up and make sure the place is nice and cozy. You don't have to worry about the cost of a nanny and a cleaner that's going to be through the roof in the US. Like, those are very affordable over there. Now, the food is expensive. She has it at 1,200. Let me see if I can show you guys. She has the food at 1,200, and then she has the household. I don't know what that is. Household for another 1,063. Kids expense 970. That's fair enough. And then she has life insurance 500. That's okay. And phone bill, membership, subscription, ride share. Hmm, that's not bad for the ride share. I know she doesn't have a car based on where she lives and all that. I don't think she hasn't mentioned anything about a car, but ride share is pretty low, which is something I do remember. You could take a Uber ride for a good 10 minutes and it's going to cost you like $4 or something. So it's so convenient, man. But yeah, I think she's managing pretty well. I'm just curious as far as the discretionary piece, and then the household, which you have the housing or utility. So what's the household items you're referring to? You're not buying furniture all the time. So let me know what you think is the household. But I think between the utilities and household, that's like almost 3 grand. That's pretty high though.
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC next to your business name?
Now, that while the commercial is playing, my thing is, if you're thinking, considering, entertaining, moving, do me a favor for 2026, at least do your research and pick a place. Seriously, it's 2026. It's a brand new year. It's a New Year's resolution. You should be able to pick a place and go hard, man. Go for it. You can do it.
Welcome to
Ooh, I
our
like
flat
this.
here in Cape Town, South Africa. This flat is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and I pay 31,000 Rand per month. My favorite room in the flat, which is the lounge slash living room slash dining room, office, homeschool space, all of the things. This is where the girls and I work. This is where they homeschool, and then our dining table also balances as a workspace where Zanaya is doing her homeschool throughout the day. So let's go to the primary bedroom, which is my bedroom towards the front of the house.
It's very spacious. $1,700, by the way. $1,700.
Super spacious. It
It's
fits
clean. Very nice. I
my
love the
beautiful
colors.
bed and all of the
All white. She definitely loves it clean. The living room, her bedroom is so empty. No TVs, nothing.
other things that will be coming into the space as we get more
Okay,
settled.
good. She's still
So
settling.
this is our kitchen. It's also quite spacious. We have tons of cabinet space.
This is a nice kitchen, I have to say. It's very spacious. I mean, the house is all spacious. I love it. It's pretty neat. Like, would you actually see yourself living in a place like that for $1,700 plus having a housekeeper or house help for under 2,000?
A ton of space to cook and prepare food. And it's just a beautiful space to enjoy our home here in Cape Town.
Look at the view outside. I mean, look at this. This is nice. I love it. Especially the weather. Oh my goodness.
Food prices are definitely increasing in South Africa. I do spend about 2,000 Rand per week
Oh,
for food
rand.
for
Okay.
a
I
family
thought you meant
of
$2,000.
4 because I
About to
cover
say.
meals for our house manager.
house manager, okay? I hope you guys picked up on that. That's a luxury thing to have. It's a good thing.
So I take Uber 99% of the time. And on a monthly average, I spend about 6,000 Rand per month for transportation. Safety is often a big concern for people. When they hear about Cape Town, you get mixed reviews. In Sea Point, I feel very safe. I walk regularly, sun up, sun down, but I am definitely aware of my surroundings and my environment.
Now let's talk about this whole safety issue, right? Because I've been to Cape Town, and yes, if you're not careful, they'll get you. So you want to be careful because South Africa is not the safest place. Okay, so let's see Cape Town real quick. Cape Town, SA. So she did mention Sea Point. So there are different areas, right? So you have Kemps Bay. So this is the area where I showed earlier where was it actually? So Kemps Bay is this walk by the beach, the restaurants on one side and then the beach on the other side. So this is like the Kemps Bay area. Where was it? Yeah, so the Kemps Bay area. So you have the beach here, you have the restaurants, and then you can drive all the way up here to Sea Point. So Sea Point is what she was talking about, right? So this is where it's like walkable distance. There's the trail here, you have the water, the waves, and the beach on the side. It's not much of a beach, but it's still nice. And that takes you to the mall. So there's a mall here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. So you have the mall here, but then it turns into the marina, right? It's like boats ride and everything, and then it takes you into different areas of the city. And then you have the CBD. So CBD is the central business district that's in the middle. This is where you want to be kind of careful at night because there's a lot of homelessness and a few places that you kind of basically it's still safe. You can drive, you could go around, but try not to walk. So if you are at Sea Point or Camps Bay, you want to go places, don't walk, just simply call an Uber, get to your destination, and that's it. Then you'll be fine, right? Then you can walk a block from where you're at, you're okay. But then you have other areas that are, in the city. That's the airport. You kind of take the airport and go there. Some other areas are pretty much where locals stay. Cape Town is a lot of tourists. So around the CBD, which will be the downtown, you have Sea Point and then Camps Bay. And I forgot what this area is called, but it is what it is. Those areas are generally safer because there's so many tourists. So the government actually has volunteers and people that walk around to answer questions and to also report if there's any crime or help people that need any assistance. So as long as you pretty much stay in your lane, meaning you get out your house, go where you need to go, do what you got to do, and come back, you're fine. However, if you want to be wild and go crazy and think that, hey, you're in the US, you can go talk to whoever, however, and walk around the street in the middle of the night by yourself all over the place, you're inviting yourself for trouble. But aside from that, it is a nice place. I'll tell you that.
Motherhood has
Oh, that's so funny. I've been to this place right where they're taking the picture. Beautiful place. It's right next to the mall. And that's what I was saying. The marina is right behind them.
changed for me drastically since moving to the continent of Africa. Z, what's down there? Look at it. My time with them was extremely limited when I was living in the US. Being able to afford, full-time help as a mother is a game changer. When I look at my friends that are amazing mothers, amazing professionals, amazing women, so many of them are just burnt out because they have to do it all. I don't do it all. My goal is to be a healthy, loving, available mother to my girls, and I've been able to achieve that living here.
That's amazing.
I absolutely plan on filing for permanent residency here in South Africa and hope to make it a permanent home for myself and my family and for my girls. Moving abroad has transformed my life for the better. My mental health is far better than I could have ever imagined it would be. I mean, I have a joy, I have an excitement, I have a love for life, for daily moments where I get to see the ocean and I get to see the mountains that reminds me of what life looks like and what life is supposed to feel like. And
That's
if
right.
everyone could get to experience the joy, the peace, and the level of gratitude that I get to experience daily, wow, like this world would definitely be a better place.
That's it, guys. This is what I mean by you guys need to try it. She couldn't have said it any better. If you can experience what she's experiencing right now, what I've experienced in the past, having that sense of freedom, purpose, flexibility, being able to use your time to do the things that you want. Things are just as simple as walking by the beach, enjoying the breeze as it caresses your face, and just being able to sit down without having to stress about having to pay your bills when you get your paycheck or your income. It's an amazing feeling, and it helps you find yourself back. And I think that's what people are missing in the US. People are so busy, really, really busy with life. And they're so busy that they don't even have time for their loved ones, their kids, their spouses, their partners, and stuff. So, all that to say, if you can and if you have the means, make it a point to explore what's out there. Because I tell you, you would not regret it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.